Hello, you are tuning in to the Rhythm and Vibe Show here on Album 88. I am with a special guest.
Hey y'all, peace and love. It's One Love coming live from Love Village.
Thank you for coming to our show. We appreciate you stopping by.
I appreciate you for having me.
Of course, I saw that you just came back from Belize, I believe. How was your trip?
Yes, it was amazing. I got to see and be with some family from back home. That's where my parents are originally from, you know what I mean? So it was an honor to go back there with my mom and got to re-meet a lot of people that I haven't seen since I was a kid for real. So it was definitely a eye-opening experience.
That's nice to hear.
Thank you.
Do we expect to see some of that influence onto some upcoming releases?
Potentially. I definitely need to go back out there and sit down for a little bit longer than a week, you know what I mean? And try to get as much influences and do some recording out there. You know, this time it was mostly me just re-meeting a lot of old family members that hasn't seen me in a while. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's always nice to like reconnect with family.
Definitely.
You know, get that inspiration back.
For sure.
Speaking of inspiration, though, what is the inspiration behind your music?
So the inspiration behind my music specifically is really and truly just people who have, I guess, influenced me musically per se, has mostly been a lot of righteous and uplifting hip hoppers, you know, throughout the years. My main influences have been like Common, Andre 3000, Mos Def, new age more artists like Kendrick, J. Cole, Childish Gambino a little bit. But my main inspiration, you know, is just seeing the struggle of good people that I've either been around or have grown up around, and just being able to be a voice for them, you know what I mean, for the people that necessarily can't communicate in the ways that I can communicate through music.
Yeah, I definitely see that in your music, how like your advocacy transfers over or translates into your raps. You do a lot of community work, right?
For sure. Yes.
Do you want to talk about some of the projects you've worked on?
Yeah, so through Love Village Records and our Passion Fruits Ministries, we do a lot of work with the homeless in Atlanta, and we also do a lot of work for sending money back to people that's less fortunate in Belize as well. So we're trying to bridge those two gaps with, you know what I mean, places that we have our influence and places that we live, and just trying to, you know what I mean, be the difference out here as much as we can.
It's very admirable.
I appreciate it.
So speaking with that, and with your inspirations,
Yeah.
do you consider yourself a conscious rapper?
I definitely feel, if I were to say that, I definitely say I would be, just because not the fact that I'm a conscious rapper, but a conscious human being.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been like very socially aware from a very young age. And I just, you know, thank God that music was the way that I was able to advocate for that, for real. Because I could have been a plumber, AC man. I could have been doing a lot of things, but I just feel like when I look back at the people in my own family and, you know, their skill sets and the people before me and the people who are alive today, you know, I'm kind of like the main one and almost like the only one that's able to put words together and put it through beats like I do, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's because where am I trying to go with this? But so with that in mind, like, was that how you started your music career?
Definitely. It really started literally like the year before I went into my senior year of high school, and that was like the first time I feel like I took just writing serious. You know, like I've always been a fan of music, you know, wide ranges of music, reggae, hip hop, R&B, soca, dancehall, like those types of influences I've always had growing up. But it wasn't until like I felt like I wanted to just flex a muscle that I didn't know I really had.
Yeah.
So like around that time I would really like write my own raps over beats that were already out, like over songs that were already out. I would be freestyling around the crib, you know what I mean? Like just trying to work a muscle that I didn't know really existed, and it didn't really start translating for me until I graduated high school, and I ended up going to West Georgia. And through my freshman year, with some of my friends that I was recording with and doing music with in high school, I ended up like borrowing somebody's mic, and it was just my whole first semester was just spent me recording using YouTube beats, you know what I mean? And that ended up me getting signed when I was 18, and just going through that whole process.
How was that for you? Like, what were you feeling?
It was definitely overwhelming because I was already dealing with school.
Yeah, you're so young.
Yeah, so I wasn't even thinking about oh, let me get a deal, or let me get a management deal, or let me get signed. I really just wanted to make the music, you know.
Mhm.
um and through that process, I really it really opened up my eyes to a whole different world, for real. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like, these people were, it was only a management deal, but these people were out in California and they found me through the internet. Like, this
Oh
was the first
wow.
time like people was really trying to do business or like talk to me through like Twitter or like social media
Mhm.
like that. So through that experience, it really taught me that people could listen to you no matter where you're at with it. You know what I mean? If they want to do business with you or they want to reach out to you, that they have the access to do it. And at that age, I really wasn't, like I said, I was so focused on school.
Yeah.
I didn't really, I couldn't even fathom, you know what I mean, that
Yeah.
that they wanted to do that for me. So they
Mhm.
was literally like flying me out to California, putting me in the studio with people,
Mhm.
putting me in the hotel rooms, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just out there by myself,
Mhm.
and then literally having to fly back for class on Monday. Like,
Oh my
and
gosh.
some of them times, to be honest, I didn't want to go to class.
I
Like,
mean,
you know?
that's real. I get it. That's really cool. Like you started out like 18, I can only imagine like, being by yourself and having all these
Yeah,
new experiences.
yeah,
Do you feel like social media helped you get your start?
for sure, for sure. Like I said, it was a whole new era. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I grew up in an era where you would have to go buy a CD. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You would have to go to a meet and greet, or just be lucky enough. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Be lucky enough to see uh, an artist on the street. You know what I mean? Or maybe you just so happen to have friends that blew up or something like that. You know what I mean? But really and truly, it definitely taught me um, where society was going at
Mhm.
like a very early age, and I
Yeah.
was able to, like, I want to say, capitalize off of it early,
Mhm.
but I was definitely able to make my own mark in my
Yeah.
own journey through that medium and through that platform, to where
Mhm.
now we utilize it, you know what I mean, to best serve the people and best serve the people that support us, you know.
Yeah, this is really inspirational
I
because
appreciate you.
some people like they join for different reasons, just
Yeah.
for like the creativeness of it or
Yeah.
like maybe the money aspect. But
Right.
for you, like, what is your ultimate impact? Like, what do you want to leave? Like, if you were to, let's say you were to retire, right?
Yeah.
What do you want people to think of when they think of you?
When they think about me as an artist, one, just the fact that I served God the best way I could, which was through my music. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's been so many thoughts and so many feelings that I've had since I was 18, that, like, now that I'm at the age that I'm at now, I just feel like I needed a medium that I didn't know I could even access until I put myself into that world. And
Mm-hmm.
then it just started opening up that way. And as a person, I just want to leave the impact of just being honest, loving, and just being the best version of myself that my parents could have created. You know what I mean? Because I'm the
Yeah.
youngest of five, so
Oh wow.
there's five different versions of them that could have been,
Yeah.
that could be doing anything out here. And I think what I'm doing now,
Mm-hmm.
and just leaving something positive and uplifting for my nieces and nephews. You know what I mean? And anybody that can discover me, you know what I mean, can really look back and be like, wow, like,
Yeah.
he really did something with his life. And it's not anything on like a huge
Mm-hmm.
celebrity ish or fame
Yeah.
type of thing, but more so like, he didn't waste his breath, you know what I mean? He didn't waste his
Yeah.
energy.
And going back to like your name, is that what's the inspiration? Because One Love comes from the Rastafarian movement,
Yeah, for sure.
and expresses unity, respect, and universal love. Do you feel like that your music embodies that, or do you have a different interpretation?
I think it's a both kind of thing for me. My music embodies that. I feel like
Mhm.
my music can encapsulate and bring all types of walks of life together, you know what I mean, in age groups. I think my
Yeah.
music can, no matter if you're a kid, young adult, older adult, like, I think it can really, really bring people together. But I've always realized my own light as a person. Like, I was always that kid in school that would get in trouble for talking to other kids, or other kids talking to me, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then as I got older, I never saw cliques like
Mhm.
that, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
growing up. I was aware of it. Now that I'm older and I can look back and be like, oh, this group was that group and this group.
Yeah.
But the stereotypical type of things that you see
Mhm.
in movies and TVs, I never really, like, lived in that. It was just like, oh, I remember you from middle school and I remember you from kindergarten. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're still cool, right? Like,
Mhm.
type of vibe. So people have always been drawn to me, and I've made sure that I didn't disrespect or, like, take that as an advantage over people, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? It just been naturally, you know what I mean, receptive with people. Like
Yeah.
I would be in class, and if I had to stand up in front of class,
Mhm.
everybody would be looking at me like, what is he about to say?
Yeah, natural born star.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay, that's really. Did you grow up in a musical family?
My older brother, he definitely I would say so for sure. It
Mhm.
wasn't where we all were playing instruments and we were the Jackson Five or nothing like that,
Yeah.
but my older brother definitely inspired me because he actually built a studio in our garage.
Oh
You know what I mean?
wow.
So I would try to sneak out at like 9 o'clock when I should be in bed at an
Yeah.
early age, and I would sneak in the garage, and him and his friend would be in there trying to make beats or be in there freestyling, or and my mom would have to come snatch me up. But those were those were the times where I felt like, wow, like I could actually see somebody doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can look on TV and we can see the music videos,
Mhm.
and now that I'm older, I realize that's like a sense of like, I don't want to say a fallacy, but like
Yeah.
it's like Wonderland, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
When you're so far away from it, but
Yeah.
being able to actually see somebody put in the work, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
and being there late hours of the night in our
Mhm.
garage, you know what I mean? Not no major studio, not no huge studio, but still create something that they wanted to share, they were proud of.
Yeah.
It definitely inspired me kind of vicariously because I didn't realize it until I really started writing. I really started wanting to record myself, and I
Yeah.
really wanted to do music. Where I was just like, you know what, bro, you did inspire me. You know,
That's cool because it's like it's more tangible. Like
right,
I have access to it now, so I'm gonna do it.
right,
It's kind of the same way like when I first started like here at the radio. I saw it on TV and I'm like, oh my god, I want to grow up and like be in radio. I
for
want to do
sure,
that. And then coming here and actually seeing it, I'm like, I can actually like make this happen. So like
exactly.
it's very like inspirational. Like and like a very like I could connect with you on that. But going back to starting out in the garage, like
Mm.
describe like your process of creating projects and creating records.
To be honest, like it it really wasn't until the pandemic hit that I really felt like I reached another level of creativity in my work.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had projects out on SoundCloud since when I had got signed, because that was how I ended up getting signed. I had a project on SoundCloud, but those were YouTube beats.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was sitting in that same garage
Mhm.
that I literally had asked God, I need beats. Like, I need a producer. I need, like, please, like, bring somebody into my life that's going to help me get to this part of my life where I really want to take this serious. And from that point on, like I said, in my journey, certain things just started happening to where literally some people that I just thought were friends, like, yo, I got beats, like, and will pull up on me at my mama house, like,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
and we'd be in that garage and we'd be playing beats.
Mhm.
And then those are some people, some of those same people are like my collaborators and friends to this day. And from that point on, it was just those moments by myself and God where He literally um, birthed this record label. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
idea for this record label, every project I've put out, even the inspiration of creating the cover arts, because we do that ourselves too.
Mhm.
It's just really, really, really been a manifestation from God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just am thankful to be the vessel to be able to put it all together and, you know what I mean, bring it to the people for real.
That's really nice.
For
That's really
sure.
nice.
That's my biggest inspiration, truly. Like, I can't say it's all me, really and
Yeah.
truly, you know what I mean? Like, and to be specific, I'm a Christ follower, you know what I mean? Because,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Those people get on those award shows and they say, God this, God that, but we don't know
Yeah.
what God they talking about. But me specifically, you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? That's who I pray to. And I feel like that's who's literally gotten me sitting here with you right now.
Yep. You brought us together.
Exactly.
Speaking of that though, so in your song Thoughts About One Love, in the beginning you speak out about the industry. And
Yeah.
it kind of reminded me of this group that I listened to, Binary Star. They
Mm.
had a song called Honest Expression and they
Wow.
talk about something similar. But this was back in the 2000s. So seeing that now, like comparing the past to the present, do you feel like things have changed, or do you want to see like what type of changes would you want to see?
I would like to see more upfront honesty,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to dealing with these corporations, the entities. Like, it's not the fact that it's a evil or bad business, but
Mhm.
there's evil and bad people that do business. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I think if there's a way to separate that and to kind of filter out those type of people outside of those entities and companies that want to deal with artists, I think would make it better for the artists. But like you said, this has been going on way longer than we've
Yeah.
existed. So I'm just thankful that we're kind of in an era now where we really don't need those entities and those companies
Mhm.
to succeed. You know what I mean? And I can say that because at 18, I definitely was with an entity and a company that literally I used to go by the real A Young.
Oh.
And when I signed that
Mhm.
contract, they owned that. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
they were literally hiding what my streams looked like and how many sales I had because I didn't even know streaming existed at that point. Like they were talking about Spotify
Mhm.
and Apple Music at that time. This is like 2014, you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
didn't even know that that existed yet. Like
Yeah.
I had my first Android at that time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't even know that that was a thing for real until, like I said, I feel like God has just been on my journey, opening me up to all this new information that it
Mhm.
just like totally like just opened up my whole world to being able to do it for myself and do it not only for myself, but also teach people younger than me or my age or just wanting to be in this type of not artistry but industry
Yeah.
on how they can be self-sufficient in it. And I
Mhm.
think that's what I was being taught this whole time, how to see what it looks like to be underneath somebody else, and
Mhm.
then how we're able to do it ourselves now.
Yeah, especially like with social media, it's so much easier to get discovered one, but also be able to control like your own artistry
Of course.
and like show what you want to be, how you want to be perceived by
Right.
the public and your audience and
Right.
stuff. So I feel like that's like a good thing with this whole social media wave and being able to explore different avenues and stuff. But what has been your favorite project?
Wow, that's a hard question. um my favorite project, hmm I would have to say something to quarantine to. I think something to quarantine to was like the big bang of
Mhm.
One Love. Like it just from the songs to how I structured it to what the meaning behind it meant to getting that big Rube feature. Like I think it just catapulted like me into a whole different direction than what I was before, of intentionality too. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I think that kind of started the era of projects that I have now, because the last project that I have on Bandcamp, it kind of is like the last summary of it, but the one that I put out that's on streaming right now was like,
Mhm.
all right, y'all, if y'all ain't haven't heard what I've been trying to tell y'all from these
Yeah.
projects to now, then you just gonna have to go back and listen,
Mhm.
So I think I'll have to say something to quarantine too.
And from there, for how what was your favorite like collaboration?
Um, my favorite collaboration, on my project specifically, it would just have to be the songs that I have with a close friend and collaborator named Sheets Track.
Mhm.
Just even that connection in its own has been like something of divine timing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we actually went to the same high school, but we wasn't in the same friend circle necessarily.
Mhm.
But he's actually cousins to one of my close friends that I've known since like the fourth grade. And I didn't even know like how interconnected he was until like later after we graduated. And
Wow.
then from that point on,
Wow.
like he went on his own journey, and then I went on my own journey, and then we literally met smack right dab again at our
Mhm.
at, his cousin's house one day. And from that point on, we've literally been shooting videos together, mixing and mastering together, hopping on each other's songs, like. And from that point on, I feel like that's somebody that like that's like not only my friend, but that's my brother for real. You know what I mean? That's somebody I
Yeah.
can trust with my art, my thoughts. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And like I said, divine timing in its own right. That's somebody that I felt like matched me at the
Yeah.
time that I needed it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And it's nice to, when you're dealing with this system and you're dealing with this type of lifestyle and this type of industry, it's nice to be able to talk to somebody and be able to have somebody in your corner that makes you feel not crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like when you're saying the things that you normally probably wouldn't say to
Yeah.
everybody, like they're like, nah, bro, I feel you on that one. And
Yeah.
so I really appreciate that type of connection.
Yeah. I'm glad you have someone in your corner to like, be yourself and like have that support, especially in the industry that's so like cutthroat.
No, for sure. And that understanding that type of relationship help me understand all the other relationships that I have around me. You know what I mean? And even the people that's in this building, like these are people that I really trust, and I can combat this entire system and this entire industry with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think of the local scene right now in Atlanta?
Oh, this scene is getting so much more popping. Like it's had its own pockets, you know, I want to say in different eras, but I think like this era right now, because like you said, you can literally get on social media right now and create the type of vibe that you want to create. That it's so many different types of vibes out here. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm a hip hop savant, so you know what I mean. I might listen to a couple times, but it's
Yeah.
only like a few that I really you know what I mean connect with. Yeah.
Yeah. It's something. There's something for someone. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what can we expect to see from you next?
More music, more shows, hopefully, because we've been doing our own pop-up shows in Atlanta for like the past 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So we're looking to expand in different states. Definitely looking to expand to doing shows in Belize, different shows in different parts of the world, because we're able to see where people are listening. So
Yeah.
I want to go, you know what I mean, interact and be around those people as well. But yeah, more music, more Love Village Records. We're not stopping. We're not slowing down. We the voice of the voiceless, and I just am excited for what this new era of my life, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
is gonna look like.
That's good. I'm glad to hear. I'm excited to hear some
Thank
new
you.
tracks.
Thank you.
Hopefully I can, come to one of the shows,
For sure.
and hopefully maybe we can get you on 88 sessions.
That would be awesome.
Before we finish the interview though, I do have 2 more questions.
Okay.
So the first one is, do you have any advice for anyone who's starting out?
Yes. For anybody starting out in music or in anything that they want to do with their life, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. You know what I mean? Yeah, we come from a system that teaches us that we have to figure out what we want to do with our life to make money. But sometimes the impact you have on people is a little bit more priceless than the amount of money that you could receive from it.
Yep.
And if you're doing music, especially in this new age, don't be too fixated off the numbers and off of the streaming and off of that. Like, be more fixated off of how many people you've impacted for the day, because those days have compounded interest, you know what I mean? And those people have compounded interest, and you never know when that person might be in a situation that you might actually need that person one day, you know what I mean? So I would tell them to not focus in on the number aspect of the game, but on the impact aspect of the people that you interact with.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I feel like if you really care about your craft, you would worry about more what you give to the audience,
Exactly.
not the monetary gain.
Right, because it's gonna come with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you do it long enough, it's gonna come with it.
Yeah, eventually your time will come.
Exactly.
So are you are you excited for the last question?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's hear a freestyle.
A
Little 8 count, just a little 8 count.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but if you want to, you don't have to.
A freestyle, no beat.
No beat, just
Oh,
acapella.
wow.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. Sitting here at album 88, feeling kind of straight. You know we gotta do it anytime, any day. I don't really know the date, but I gotta make a play. Gotta make a way for the people that wanna be okay. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I really want to say thank you for I just want to say thank you for the people that aren't really getting the notoriety that they need, you know what I mean? And for the people that are inspired, but not only what you're doing, but what I'm doing, and the people in here that what they're doing. Because like, I know for a fact that there's people watching me, you know what I mean? There's people watching you too, you know what I mean? From family members to, you know what I mean, people who probably work with you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just want to say, you know what I mean, I want to encourage you,
Aww.
you know what I mean? Thank you for letting me do that little freestyle real quick, but I just want to say I want to encourage you to, you know what I mean, don't stop doing what you're doing for like, and I appreciate you for being open to allowing us to be here for.
Of course, literally what I'm here for.
Yeah.
The whole point of the show is to showcase local artists, and you know, I try to do my due diligence of like finding people to showcase. When you DM'd me, I was like, this is perfect. This is so perfect. Then I got that email. I was like, yes, I'm doing an interview. But I really appreciate you stopping by and talking with me about your journey and your career. And I'm excited to see what's coming next.
Hey, I might have to get you on the track or something. You might have to do a drop or something.
Okay.
For sure.
Thank you again.
Thank you.